Word. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Silent Podcast, the place where everything but silent. And I'm your host, Isaiah, once again, here to talk Big Brother 26. We're getting close to the end. We are going live when something recently happened, so a lot to talk about. We got a really special guest in the building. We got Taylor. Taylor's going on.
What's up? How y'all doing? It's good to be back.
Good to have you. Good to have you. We ain't seen you in a while. You know, you've been busy. You've been booked. You've been doing your thing. You know, shout out to you.
That's the goal. Stay booked, stay busy. If I weren't, it'd be a problem.
And then, per usual, we got the panel. We got Katie. Katie, what's going on?
Not too much. Getting close to the end.
All right. How about you, Josie?
You know, I got a lot of backlash for my opinions, but I keep being proven correct. So I'm once again ready to fight on this episode. Yes.
Oh, period.
And we got Janelle in the building. Janelle, what's up?
Hey guys, I am excited trying to power through this podcast.
There we go. If you're not used to being over here, per usual, like, comment, subscribe. And if you're listening to us in the future, like us 5 stars on all of our audio platforms. We really appreciate it. But if not, don't do it at all. Just wait until you hear something you do like. Taylor, we haven't spoken to you this season. So how are you feeling about everything? We are Final Four. You know, we don't got that much time. You've been here before. So what's up?
Yeah, it's not a lot of time for us on the outside, but it feels like years every single day when you're in that house. I feel for those people. I said, this is literally the worst part of the game when you're playing it. It is a slog. It is miserable. It is the most mentally challenging aspect of it. But this is where cream rises to the top. And we already see Chelsea continuing to make incredible decisions in her gameplay. And I'm just really excited to see however this ends up playing out for any of the people who are left.
For those who aren't aware from our last podcast, Chelsea is the HOH. And we did get a little update before we went live that Mackenzie did win veto because her and Cam were on the block. Doesn't really matter, but Mackenzie did win veto. So a lot of interesting possibilities here. Josie, as you said, you've been very vocal this season about both Chelsea and Mackenzie. How do you feel about this little situation we got going on?
I'm here for it. I have been Team MJ, Team Chelsea, and I'm here for it. Honestly, it feels nice to see that they're reaping what they've sowed. Mackenzie is winning the comps. Chelsea, in my humble opinion, deserves the win. So I'm glad that they're in a position. However, I'm curious if Mackenzie is going to do what's best for her or what's best for Chelsea. Or does she see it as what's best for her is what's best for Chelsea? I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, because I think MJ wants Rabina, which is great for MJ. I think Chelsea wants Cam, which is great for Chelsea. I'm interested to see if Chelsea can solidify Cam staying this week, because that would really, really be good for her. And that's really, really what I want to see happen.
Katie, do we feel like Cam is in danger here, or you got a chance to start?
No, Cam's in danger. Cam is definitely in danger. I think he knows it too. And I hate to see it because I really do like Cam. And I think he just seems like such a nice, good guy. So to see him like down and out, I feel really bad for him. It seemed like he took this comp loss really hard. And I think even the girls in the house feel bad for him that, he was feeling frustrated. But we'll see what Chelsea can do in terms of getting in Mackenzie's ear to see if she can get her to kind of switch her mindset. Because I think that we could, if she is successful in that and Mackenzie does end up keeping Cam and evicting Ravina, that's just another thing on the list for Chelsea to have at her resume at the end if she makes it there. So fingers crossed for Cam, fingers crossed for Chelsea. I'm rooting for it. I don't want to see Cam go. I love Cam.
He's one of the sweetest
I
people.
know.
Like, of all the complaints I might have about people, he's one of the sweetest guys. So I would love to see him stay.
He's been so fun to watch ever since that clip of him like entering the backyard and doing that little musical number. I was just like, my sweet, sweet little theater nerd kid heart is having so much fun. Like, that's the type of house that you can only wish and hope that you get to be in, where you play the game if you're playing it terribly, according to most of these players, and then you still have fun in the meantime. Like, this has just been such a fun season to get through, and Cam has been such a delight, surprising delight, even if he's terrible at comps. Like, I don't doubt that he's great at other things in the real world, but when it comes to Big Brother specific comps, they're just not his strong suit. And sorry, but this is something that we see a lot of women have to deal with. Two men who are strategically running the game and comp-wise running the game, and generally a woman who is just sad and kind of down and out that she can't hold water next to these other people. Now we're seeing the inverse happen. And, as someone who wants to see gender parity happen in the game, like more equity, I'm sad that Cam is sad, but it's really cool to see women in this position of power reaping what they sow. And yeah, it feels good to see all of this happening now.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to the dogs at the crib. You already know. All right. So what we're going to do, because there's not a lot of people left in this house, obviously, we're going to go to our tier list. Taylor, I'm not going to over explain this. I got cooked for doing this last time, but basically it's a tier list. And we rank people based off of how good we think they're doing. And there you go.
The bias is
hilarious. All right. So let's talk about Chelsea. Let's just start from the top to the bottom. Let's just make this quick and easy. Listen, I'm gonna keep Chelsea at S for me, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a little worried, and I know I'm probably gonna get some backlash for it, maybe on here or other places. But I'm worried. I think Chelsea, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks, has given Mackenzie a little bit too much wiggle room. Right? Mackenzie now has all the power this week. She can either send Rubina home and make a very foolish decision, or she could send Cam home and make this game very interesting. At this point, she could either be the Steve Moses or she can be just like a Caleb Reynolds or something. Like she could be out of here next week, the puppet of Chelsea. But if she wakes up like I feel like she could make something crazy. We've seen her talk about, Cam and Chelsea. I understand that they're close and I can't go to the final three with these two. We've seen her talk about how she understands with Rubina, if Chelsea gets to the end, Chelsea wins. To me, I gotta assume that she's gonna do something about it. If she doesn't, then what are you doing here? But I'm gonna save Mackenzie for Mackenzie. Chelsea has allowed Mackenzie to have too much power at this point. I've been on the record saying I feel like she should have been sent Mackenzie home, and I still feel that way. And I really am afraid because I watched Big Brother 17 and I've watched Vanessa play such a dominant game and get cut at the end by Steve Moses. I'm worried. Am I crazy to worry about this, y'all? Like someone tell me how they feel about this.
No, you're not crazy to worry about this, but that's what we want to see in a good game. We want it. Even the person who is playing the most dominant, most perfect game, they are not always going to have absolute mind control over everybody else. And what's interesting and good about Big Brother seasons is when people play with self-interest. So yeah, Chelsea might have given up a little bit of too much wiggle room, but thankfully we're starting to see Mackenzie have a little bit of a mind of her own. And that's what I want to see from players. So yeah, I'm scared for Chelsea, but as far as watching the game, that makes the slog of an end game a little more interesting.
See, Taylor, I love the entertainment aspect, right? But if you're trying to win that money, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy to leave someone that could steal the game from you, in my opinion. It's like ultimately the whole point that you're leaving home, you're leaving work, you're leaving your whole life behind is to win money, and then that's it, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like Chelsea wants to win some money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you're giving this girl, who's obviously a comp beast at this point, just like the slightest room to even do something. Like if she sent her home, no one can touch this girl at all. Like boring, yes, but like that's money. Like I'm sorry, I'm broke. I need money. I would love to be in that situation. You feel me? But to each their own. But how y'all feeling?
I disagree. I think it's Final Four. Like, what more could have Chelsea done? Like this week is all about the power of veto, right? Even if she did put Rubina on the block, Mackenzie still would have won. She would have taken herself off, obviously, and then Cam would still be sitting there anyways. I don't think there's any question about control. And I do think that Chelsea has proven time and time again that she controls Mackenzie's moves. I know we're saying she has a chance to do so, but she's had multiple chances to do anything else. And yet here we are. This is exactly the outcome. It doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Yes, Rubina has a relationship with Mackenzie, but I think ultimately it's not worth more than what Mackenzie has with Cam or what Mackenzie has with Chelsea. I think Rubina's done for. to be quite frank, and it's sad because I think she's a lovely person inside and out, but Chelsea has been thinking 5 steps ahead, and now she's just sitting back and watching what she did come to fruition. It's clear as day. The fact that she didn't even put up, we didn't talk about it, but she didn't even put up Rubina. She put up Mackenzie and Cam. She didn't show her cards. She didn't show who was her real final two. It's like there is things that she's done that continue to prove that regardless, like Chelsea's going to be fine. Even if Cam gets evicted, which he wasn't going to win the final HOHs anyways. So it would be between Mackenzie and Rubina to compete against Chelsea. And Chelsea has proven, being a 4-time HOH winner, that she's here to compete just as much, if not more, than Mackenzie. So I'm not really worried about it. I think we're looking at the minutia of certain things, but it's not relevant.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Like Chelsea winning this HOH to me secured. I think she's going to win one of these next parts of the final 3 HOH, and she's going to be competing in the final part. And I edge her a little bit more in game knowledge over Mackenzie. I know Mackenzie's fast. She's got speed. She's super tall. But I think Chelsea's going to be in those final 2 seats, and nobody can convince me differently because I don't think MJ can beat her in a comp. So Cam going would be bad for Chelsea. I do not want that because I feel like he's going to pick Chelsea regardless. But I think still she's going to be all right. I have faith that she's going to be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you guys too. I think obviously having Cam there just for an insurance policy is better for Chelsea. But I think when she won that Final Four HOH, she secured her spot in the final 2. Like, I don't even, yes, of course, the final 3 is important. But I think those 2 final HOHs, she's going to win one of them. And I think she's going to get there unless somehow Rubina pulls it out if Mackenzie ends up keeping her. But just based on Rubina's track record, I don't really see that happening. So like, yes, obviously it would be much better for her if Cam was going to stay this week just as a backup plan. But I think she's going to be okay to make it there.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. If she cuts Rubina, who obviously is not going to go to the end with Chelsea, that is such a misplay to me. You know, I'm saving that for Mackenzie. Anyway, Chelsea is in this, in my opinion. I'm just saying this is going to haunt me forever, and I just don't want another one of that. So, but she's an S to me. Obviously, I don't think anyone's disagreeing, unless someone in the panel disagrees. No one's going to.
No, but to clarify to viewers, we are modifying the left, not the right. The right was last week. I just want to make sure that's clear.
Last week.
Yeah.
But there you go. All right, Taylor, how you feeling about Mackenzie?
Yeah, Mackenzie's the only player that has a shot of winning, period, against Chelsea. Like, and it's literally if she pulls Steve Moses and beats out Chelsea in the one of the last 3 parts of final HOH. And I just don't see that happening because we've literally seen Chelsea studying. We have not seen Mackenzie studying. Like, Mackenzie's, I don't know what the veto was. This could have been a day's veto, which would be awesome. At least that would give me some confidence that she's learning, studying, brushing up on her history of the game. So that could change my decision here. But we haven't seen Mackenzie really studying for anything. We have seen Chelsea studying for things. So when it comes down to the last HOH comp, which I do see Chelsea and Mackenzie competing in against each other, I give that edge to Chelsea. But if Mackenzie has that opportunity to cut Chelsea, like it would be dumb of her not to take it. And I'm not saying like that's what I want to happen or specifically who I want to win. But again, I want people to be self-interested here. And I think back to Chelsea too. Yeah, we can say that Chelsea gave Mackenzie too much leeway, but I don't blame her for that. When you have a literal week plus of an example of being able to control somebody's HOH in those decisions, like I would feel very confident in my abilities to be able to continue manipulating them no matter how far we get in the game. So I can see both sides on that. I do think that the risk in that is that Mackenzie can wake up and play her own game. But if I were in Chelsea's shoes, that is a risk I'd be willing to take. Because again, if you have firsthand experience manipulating the shit out of somebody, like if I'm in the Big Brother house, you couldn't tell me anything. I'd be like, oh, this is my pawn. This is my toy. This is my tool. I can do whatever I want with them. So this week will be interesting. This week will be interesting to see if Chelsea can get Mackenzie to do what she wants and keep Cam around. And I think that'll be the playbook for how we're going to see the rest of the season play out. But yeah, I am always pro every player playing in their self-interest. And I do want to see Mackenzie just like be more than just the comp piece. Make a decision that makes sense for you, not for anybody else.
I do think in terms of Mackenzie, in a positive for Mackenzie and maybe not necessarily knock on Chelsea and Cam, but I think they probably should have kept Chemo last week. I think keeping Rubina was too much of a positive for Mackenzie and not as much of a positive for Chelsea as keeping Chemo might have been. So I think that's a good thing for Mackenzie because obviously they wanted to keep Mackenzie's favor. They didn't want to blindside her. And, you know, they brought her in on the decision. So I think that gives Mackenzie a little bit more agency than maybe she had a little bit earlier. And now if she uses that to her advantage, that puts her in a much better position. Whereas if Chemo obviously wouldn't have been riding for Mackenzie at the end, as maybe Rubina will be more so. So I think that's a positive for Mackenzie's game. And I agree with you, Taylor. Like, I think she is the only other player that has even a little bit of a shot. And even in the jury segment, she's the only other one that they talked about. Like, Cam wasn't even a conversation. Rubina wasn't even a conversation. And T-Core just said, you know, like, Chemo's playing a good game, but obviously Chemo's walking back into the jury. So I don't think either Cam or Rubina has a shot. I think it's only between Mackenzie and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Katie, to your point, I do think that I kind of debated who should go last week between Rubina and Chemo. And for a while, I thought Rubina should go, but I just remembered how much of a social threat Chemo is. I think Chemo pre-jury really attached himself with the house guests. You know, getting that information about Quinn's power and being the one able to manipulate the situation and provide that information to Tucker, his connections with all these individual players. I don't think that many people, not to diminish Rubina's relationships with anyone in the house, but I don't think they were as impactful as Chemo was. And Chemo was on the block a lot of times, so he could have that argument of being an underdog. And I'm not saying that Rubina can't also have that argument, but it's less effective than if Chemo were to say it. And I think people in the jury were actively rooting for Chemo, Angela, Core. I don't think Angela cares about Rubina. I think Leah will definitely not vote for Rubina if she makes it to final two. So I kind of ended up realizing that I think it was the right move to get rid of Chemo over Rubina, despite it kind of being a toss-up. So, and Rubina didn't win anything. So again, it's like,
yeah, I'm thinking about it more for this week specifically. Like, if the final four is exactly the same and we just remove Rubina and put Chemo there, I think there's no question that Mackenzie gets rid of Chemo and keeps Cam and Chelsea. I think now it's an open question. Is she going to keep Rubina? Is she going to keep Cam? It could go either way. And I think no matter what, if Chemo were there, she would have gotten rid of Chemo. So I think it's almost, it gives like her more options than maybe she would have had. I think for the final, yes, Chemo's definitely more of a threat at the finale, but I just don't know that if he would have gotten there.
Here's my thing. Mackenzie has had 3 separate opportunities to do something crazy. And if she passes up this time to split up the duo that she has gone on record saying should not be in the game too long because I know that they're working close together and they'll take each other to the end, she deserves to lose. I'm sorry. I don't understand why if she wastes this HOH on Rubina when Cam and Chelsea, who are an obvious duo to her, not just to us, to her, are sitting right there. I just don't know what to say. I can't keep making excuses for her. Yeah, she can win a competition, but I feel like she's going to go at the finale, sit next to Chelsea, and be like what Matt was with Jag last year, and be like, yeah, we were like this duo, we planned everything, and then Chelsea's going to be like, actually, I did X, Y, and Z, and I controlled her whole game. I just see this can either be really good or really bad for Mackenzie. Like her entire legacy in life outside this house really relies on this one decision, if you ask me. And I know that's crazy. I understand, Taylor. I feel you. But I know how these people are. And this is like crazy.
You know how these people are.
You know how these people are. So I'm just saying,
I know how these people are.
Okay. So this is like wild. Like, I don't know. I'm very worried for either result because I want Chelsea to win. But, like, it's also Chelsea's fault if Mackenzie does something crazy and takes this season, if you ask me. People saying it's Cam. I don't agree with that. We'll get to him in a second. But she needs to just do what's right. If you waste this HOH on Final Four or Rubina, she deserves to lose. I'm sorry. But that's how I'm feeling.
You say that.
I think this is MJ's week to show that MJ can make a decision for MJ. Because I
Yep.
think there are plenty of players in that jury that have the perception that Chelsea, excuse me, has been running MJ's HOHs. I believe that they think that. And I
Yeah.
believe that Chelsea is going to argue for that at the end. She said
Right.
so in the DR. So I don't want MJ to make the right decision for herself. I want her to crash and burn. So who I want to win wins. But this is Mackenzie's chance to like solidify something for herself. So we'll see if she does it. Hope not, but we'll see.
What you gotta say, Josie? You said something.
No, I was gonna say that also, like, we're saying that, but I know how I felt when I watched season 2 of BB Can and John cut Netta. That was one of the most memorable moments, like, watching that show. It was heartbreaking because Netta deserved the win. John Party did what he needed to do. So I can give him an 8 out of 10 for that. But I just feel like if MJ cuts Chelsea at the end, I'm not saying that she won't, I'm not saying that she will, but if she does, everyone's going to be saying MJ was legendary, blah, blah, blah. So like whether she cuts her here at Final 4 or at the Final 3, it's up to that. And also it's like, I think to a degree, MJ can plea for herself as well. Obviously, I think Chelsea, I've seen clips of her minister before, so I know she can public speak. But I don't want to doubt Mackenzie. I think I want to root for her. Part of me just wants to root for her. So I get entirely what you're saying. The move is to cut Chelsea. I think we all agree on that sentiment. But I also think that it doesn't define her legacy either. Because look at Cody Calafiore. Brother did not cut Derek. And now he's considered one of a great player. I can't speak. I'm not speaking for myself. I'm just saying a general blanket statement that people look at Cody and they kind of forget that he brought Derek sometimes because he won again. So I'm just saying we have to give a little grace, just a little grace. I'm gonna give MJ
all I'm gonna say is she has vocally said if Rubina is the one out of everybody that's saying Chelsea wins if she gets to the end, and she agreed and does not take Chelsea out, she deserves no votes. I'm sorry,
Isaiah,
bro.
everyone agrees with whatever someone's saying in front of their face. Of course, everyone's gonna go, yeah,
That's even worse.
Let's be in an alliance. You know what? Exactly. You know what? I am taking you to Final 2.
She literally said she knows Cam and Chelsea are also. So here's my thing. Do you think Chelsea really thinks that she can beat Chelsea? I'm sorry. You think Mackenzie thinks that she can beat Chelsea?
Probably.
I think so. Because
that's crazy.
That's why she's doing what she's doing, in my opinion. I think she thinks that.
Yes.
Do I think that's true?
She has a little bit of an ego too.
I don't think. I really think, especially like you can't convince me that she thinks she loses to Rubina. Like, come on now.
I don't think she thinks she loses to Rubina. I think she would rather sit next to Chelsea than sit next to Rubina.
Right.
But I don't think she
would much rather sit next to Chelsea out of anybody else. I think she has an equal shot sitting next to Cam or Chelsea. I don't know why. I don't know why she wouldn't just look at Rubina and say, yeah, that's my final 2 right there. Even
right.
Drag her to the end. But I think if her choices are between Cam and Chelsea and she thinks that she has an equal shot next to both of them, which, arguably she doesn't anymore because she doesn't think Cam is playing that great of a game anyway, she would choose to sit next to Chelsea just because she likes her more. Yeah, I don't know why. When did people start playing this like ho-hum, we're all besties and I want to sit next to the person that's my bestie blue game? Like, do we real? I'm sorry, but like when you deposit that check and you wait the 15 days for the money to get cleared because the bank has to check it, and then the money hits your account and you see 750, actually I had like 760 because of AFP.
That's right.
Come on, Jack.
Those numbers hit your account. Like, I don't understand why. Imagine that feeling. Yeah. That was the craziest thing, to look at my account and see those numbers in there because of what I experienced over a summer. To be in an end game position like this and not have that front of mind, and like, oh, well, I want to sit next to this person because we did all this together. I want to sit next to that person because of what? What the fuck are we doing? I don't know when the ethos of Big Brother changed, but I need there to be a mental shift in the game of like, you go to the end and you do what it takes to win the game. And if you're going to be friends with somebody outside the game, it's not because of how you played the game, it's because you were destined to be friends anyway. The person that's going to be your friend is the one who's going to choose to be your friend because of who you are, not what you did in this game. Hello, Michael Brunner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody will place that $750K over friendship, unfortunately.
I could never. I got too many bills to pay.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
But
Who doesn't?
Not I.
That's the crazy thing.
And you know what,
um
you guys, Chelsea has never been on the block on eviction night, so they don't know how she's going to be able to speak. I
That's
think she's
true.
going to wipe the floor with Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Just out of pure experience, I think Chelsea's going to wipe the floor with her.
And I think Chelsea is very clearly is already thinking about her story and what she's going to say. And every week and every move that happens, she's thinking about how to build that into her speech at the end and use it to build her resume. I don't know that Mackenzie is thinking about it and mapping it out the way that Chelsea is. Like Chelsea is prepared. I don't know that Mackenzie is prepared outside of like comp wins and being down and out in the beginning and then like finding Chelsea and Cam. Like those are the two big things I think for her. But I think Chelsea's game is just very clearly more impressive, especially when she lays it out and lays out the blueprint of everything that she's done from the beginning to now.
Absolutely. And finding players that are aware enough to understand their journey, how they got there, and then be able to articulate that journey is just rare in Big Brother. And I think Chelsea's going to be able to do that. I have a little less faith in Mackenzie just because she's a little bit younger, but I just think Chelsea's going to run away with that.
How old is she?
22?
I think she's a year
22?
younger than me.
Oh, word.
Mackenzie's
Mackenzie's
22.
22.
That's crazy.
I think she's 22. Yeah.
Yeah, she's 22, I think.
That's crazy. And they were acting like Cedric was this itty bitty baby. What?
I know, right?
Mackenzie's
They're like
right
the same
in front of
age.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here's my question: where is Mackenzie staying in C, or is she rising or dropping?
I'd move her up.
I'd move her up.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen,
You know what? What gameplay is there? Like, she's gonna use a veto. We don't know what she's gonna do yet, so I can't.
so she's going to use it?
We
You know that?
have.
She's not going to stay on the block.
No, I know.
Right.
I know she's gonna take herself off the ball. I'm talking about she's gonna be the sole vote to evict.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
She has.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move her up to B because we don't know what she's gonna do yet. After that, when we come back here next week, y'all can drag her down. I know y'all will. I already see it coming.
I think it depends on her decision, and
If
obviously
she'll
we don't know
take
what the
Cam
decision's
out, bro,
going to
that would be wild, bro.
Oh.
Like,
But
I'm
if she
sorry.
takes
You
up
She and
Cam,
Cam
at
will
least
you think she and Cam will get bored this week?
No.
yeah.
be. No,
No,
I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
No, they've discussed it actually. Well, kind of.
I don't know.
No.
Not with Chelsea there. I don't think they would.
Chelsea's like, she's not doing anything.
She's gonna burn the house
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I don't think with Chelsea there. They would even try.
She's like, what y'all
Board is
doing up
crazy.
there? All right, but we're moving to all right. Janelle, how you feeling about Cam?
Like I said, I want to give Cam his props because he's just a nice guy. I think he has he surprised me throughout the season with when he did start talking. I'm like, oh, he actually understands what's happening. He actually knows what's going on. He's a little he's super loyal to Chelsea, even though she's doubted him over and over and over and over and over again because of these other women. But he's not self-interested enough for me. I wish he cared about his game more. He seems to make decisions that are better for Chelsea a lot than they are for himself. So I don't think he has a shot to win, but I'd love to see him in the final two with her. They've played the whole game together. They've had a tumultuous relationship. I find their relationship fascinating. Hard to watch at times, but I don't think the man's winning. Sorry. I don't think anybody's going to vote for him over Chelsea or MJ.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Cam is cooked. I ain't gonna hold you. But if he does get to the end and it's not with Chelsea, I think he has a shot because something in me, unless you said what?
I guess Mackenzie?
Absolutely. And just something in me
I gotta hear
is
that.
just like, listen, if T Core and Chelsea don't vouch for this man, that would be crazy.
Here
to
we
me.
go again.
Because they said they want a black winner. I don't care. They said on TV they want a black winner. If they don't, and listen, and that, well, I'm trying to think who would vote Mackenzie next to Cam. Let's think about that.
Everybody.
Leah,
Everybody.
Angela, Chemo.
If he can
Everybody.
flip T Core, that will
Rubina.
automatically get Rubina and Chemo because Rubina likes Cam. That would give Rubina, and if Mackenzie eliminates Rubina, that's also another good thing.
Isaiah.
So
Not here for
Isaiah.
Cam. She does not like.
look, just let me cook. Let me cook. I'm telling you, if T-Core, Chelsea, Chemo, and Rubina, that's all he needs. But look, that's the only way he wins the season, in my opinion. I can see Rubina being salty if Mackenzie eliminates her. That's all I'm saying.
Rubina
That's
does
all
not
I'm
have the
saying.
salty bone in her body. Let's be for real, y'all.
If T-Core and Chemo,
rainbows,
like,
sunshines,
how does she
and
do that
solar
to you? How could she eliminate you
No,
over
that's
Chelsea?
bold. This,
No.
this jury couldn't be bitter if they tried.
I see it.
No,
Well,
we could all
tell
sit
that
down.
to tell that to Angela. Tell that to Angela. She said she
Angela
don't want to see Chelsea
alone.
win.
She alone is bitter. The rest of them,
Angela,
Chemo, Rubina, anybody else that's T-Core, you see people in that anybody other than Angela being a bitter juror.
No.
Listen, T-Core
No,
has said
Isaiah.
multiple times she don't want certain people to win, and if they get to jury, they ain't
Right.
voting them.
Think
So, in
Think
my
about
opinion,
Takor's relationship with Cam this whole season.
Yeah.
He tried and tried and tried with Takor.
He
to
tried.
work out. And it didn't work out, mainly because of Takor, from my perspective. She dropped
but
the ball
Mackenzie
in
sent
the
T-Core home.
But
No,
Takor
Leah
was
sent
involved
T-Core
in that
home.
relationship,
Oh yeah,
and
she was a
does
part
not-
of it. But listen,
does not
I'm
respect
telling
that
you,
end game. Takor does not respect
something
that
in
end
me,
game. No,
something in me is
Isaiah.
telling me.
I
I'm
don't think so,
feeling it.
Isaiah.
I'm feeling it.
come on, delusions.
feeling it.
Come on,
That's what
Delulu.
that is.
Yeah.
That's the only route. Every other route he's losing.
I think if
But
he's
see
next,
it.
well, I was gonna say maybe even next to Rubina he wins, but I don't think so because Rubina has the
No.
jury.
He
So I
just
don't think he
needs-
has a shot.
T-Core runs the jury at this point because she has 3 votes. She has 3 votes basically.
If
so she
Rubina's
chooses
there.
who wins. Oh yeah, but she's gonna be there. I'm telling you, she's gonna be there.
But
She
in
has
your
3
scenario,
votes.
Rubina's okay. Let me just.
I'm just saying it's one path, bro. I'm not saying I already said he's cooked. But I'm saying let me be delusional for a second. If
It's
there's
okay,
a chance,
own it.
that's the only way he can win.
If you're
But I already said he's cooked. I'm
Yeah.
keeping Cam at C. I'm not dropping him.
I would
Okay.
drop him. He
I
can't win. He can't. He needed to win. He couldn't win.
can
I
win,
mean,
in my
like he
opinion.
can't. No, he can't, and he hasn't. The comps I'm talking about. He
what-
needed to win at least one comp, and he couldn't do it to secure his.
Shout out
safety.
Josh Vitello. Cam wins against Rubina 5-2.
No.
Okay, may I ask a question, Isaiah? If it'll help you, because I want that for you. I wouldn't mind a Cam win, not necessarily over MJ and Chelsea, but I wouldn't mind it. Good guy.
Mhm.
What is his plea? What is his pitch? What does he argue?
I told
in
you. I
front of
said
the
this
jury?
the last podcast. And this is wishful thinking. I don't see it happening. But let's just pretend for a second
Yes,
that Chelsea and T-Core are just like, yo, we want a black winner this season. They're gonna be like, listen, Cam was an integral part in some of my decision making this season. That's what Chelsea might say. I don't see it because she's been talking
That's
a lot
not
of
me.
shit. But let's say that she's feeling it in her heart. I can see a path for us. I can see all Cam needs is T-Core and Chelsea to look inside their heart. Remember that conversation. We want a black winner.
No.
I can see it. But that's the only way.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you got to live out your delusions for a moment. Now let me be real and frank.
It's all funny games till it happens.
I have been very critical of Cam. Moses can testify in the chat. And I think again, Cam has done nothing. I think he's a great guy. I loved it when he won Power Veto and he did something. But aside from that, he hasn't done anything in the game that is self-interested for him, which I didn't expect from Cam the moment he said he doesn't want to lie in the game anymore after that whole Tucker week. So we knew who Cam was. He's been authentic, he's been honest, and he's been true. Yes, I think he has gotten the time to grow a little bit more as a player as the season has gone on, but it's not enough for the amount of days that are left. He cannot sit in front of a jury, aside from maybe Rubina, and say, I did this, and the person beside him can't also say the same thing. He has nothing different or special or incredible on his resume. He has nothing. So I can't sit here and live in this delusion as much as I would like to, because I am a dog at the crib. Don't get it mistaken. But realistically, he has nothing that he can advocate for himself for. I don't even know if he has that ability really to lay that out, even if he did find something to say. I think this is the gameplay and the player that we know and love, and it's Cam. And for us to want him to play an Ian Terry type of game or speak like him at the finale would just be unrealistic. Like, we need to be real. This is who Cam is. We love him, and we need to take him for it. And he's just not going to win, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I'm giving
I
him
agree.
some credit. There
I
you go.
mean, for me to give Cam any credit outside of just like being a really nice guy and being a little bit more tuned into what's going on in the house than I think any of us really expected him to be, like kind of like you said, Janelle, like he had more insight than I think any of us expected when he finally started talking game. He just needed to win at least one competition, and he has not done it outside of that veto. And he needed to do something to keep himself safe this week and be in a decision-making power position. And he hasn't made any single decision in this game whatsoever. So I don't see it for him. And I think he's probably gone this week because I think Mackenzie day over day, week over week is waking up and stepping into her own. I can't see a world where she would keep Cam instead of Rubina this week. So I would move him to D.
What was the word that Angel used for Mackenzie in her exit? She said delusional, right?
Gullible, maybe something like that.
Gullible.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like she's gonna have a bitter jury, but that's just how I'm feeling.
I don't.
I just think Angela's gonna vote for whoever she likes more, not necessarily.
She will.
Which is kind of like shocking to me because the way, like, if everyone else in the jury voted in that way and she was in the final two, she would not get the votes to win. So it's like, it's real. Like, the jury has.
I think she could surprise us because I do think even in the jury segment, she was talking a little more. She has more game sense than I think we realize. We just like focus on her drama and like how she, yeah, exactly. But I do think she understands the game and respects the game as a fan. So
I think
maybe
she does, but
better.
she's made it clear that she does not want to vote for Chelsea. So if you don't want to vote
going
for the house,
yeah,
she's gonna stop Chelsea from being a unanimous winner. It's gonna be very funny.
Which is crazy to me. I would love another unanimous. Like, don't play. I would love to see it.
Crazy.
Somebody in the comments said Chelsea debowed Cam's game.
Where you said that?
Debowed.
What does that mean?
Can we be real? Chelsea bowed. What?
Debowed?
I think
she means like,
Oh, I guess like Cam like did what Chelsea wanted, which was like to limit his relationship. I
don't fully co-sign that. But
I mean, listen, she would flip out about him and these other girls, and he would reel it back in every single time.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, damn, girl, he needs to make relationships too outside of you and Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
But every time he did, Chelsea, here comes Chelsea.
I would give him some credit for that Takora week 2, personally.
Come on, week 2.
But come on. But hey, no, I'm talking about Janky.
At week what? 11, 12? Like,
I'm talking about Janky World.
Oh, you said week 2.
No, I said give for the Takora vote.
Oh, okay. I heard week.
She didn't want to send him home, but he's a D. There's nothing else to talk about. Okay.
Unfortunately.
All right. You said what?
Sweet Rubina.
Yeah.
How you feeling about Rubina? Katie, what's going on with Rubina?
My thing with Rubina is that you just don't want to see somebody not have any agency. Like, that's not fun to watch someone that's just kind of there and just having fun. Like, you want everybody to be able to play, and when they have that space to play, you want to see them excel. And it's been hard to see like this very joyful, cool person not really flourish in that capacity. Like, a lot of her game is not what she has done, but what has happened to her. And I haven't seen her take enough credit for even saying like, I get saved continuously because I've built these relationships. Like, she's not taking enough ownership over the things that have saved her from being evicted. She's just let other people make those decisions and have that ownership. And I think that's a crucial thing when you're in a position like she's in. Like, you have to be going out of your way to make sure that you have some sort of hand in your own rescue or safety. And we just haven't seen her doing that, which has been frustrating because let's say she gets to those final 2 seats. I don't see her finale speech being any different than all of her eviction speeches, which are kind of boilerplate. Hey, everybody, I love you all. And, if it's good for you, keep me around. And if it's good for you and you feel like I did something for your game, then vote for me to win 750K. Like, that's not impactful. It doesn't do anything to examine why she made it to the end other than someone else took me here. So I don't know. It's disappointing. I don't want to say I'm disappointed in her, but it is disappointing to see a game like this. But, I would love to see an all female final three. That'd be really awesome. And, maybe it would be really cool to see her win one part of the final three HOHs just so she can have something. Like, give me something, baby. But, I don't have that much faith, and I don't want to not have faith in somebody to do that. So I'm going to keep her where she is.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Can Rubina beat Mackenzie?
No.
No.
She
Not
better
even in
not.
her wildest
I don't think
dreams.
Rubina can beat maybe Cam,
Maybe.
but that's not a combination that's going to get to the end because
Happen.
one of them's leaving.
I only say
I agree, Josh Vitello. Sorry, Taylor. Go ahead.
You're fine. You're fine. I would have had more faith in Rubina beating Mackenzie in a comp that's like a day's comp or something like that had Mackenzie not just won this veto. And this veto more than likely was something where you have to know about the season. So I can't in good faith say, yeah, like there's something Rubina's going to be really good at that she'll beat Mackenzie at, because I just don't see it in these endgame comps.
Yep.
It's not much to even talk about with Rubina. She's just kind of here. And it's like we saw like early moves last week, I believe. She was like, again, with Mackenzie, Chelsea can win this game. Like, we need to not work with Chelsea, whatever. But like, it's a little too late for that, man. Like, you don't really got anything else going on. She has a relationship with Cam, but like, again, a little too late. I don't think Cam's gonna do anything.
He can't
to
do
keep Rubina
anything.
here. Exactly.
They're
But
against
I'm
each
saying
other on the block. So
But I'm saying
they will
even
be.
if he could, like,
Yeah.
it's too late. Like, she put all her game into T-Core and Chemo, and it's been T-Core Chemo this whole time. That's it. So I'm personally dead in the water. I don't really see it. My only path for her was a bitter jury, but with these three, I don't really see anybody being bitter enough to like get Rubina a win. Personally, I don't know. This is an F tier for me, man. This is dead. I think her game's over. Personally,
I don't know.
If you're gonna
What
put dead in
really
the water,
happened?
you gotta put Cam there right now. Like, we're being accurate. We're talking about this week. We're not talking about next week. We're talking
Sure.
about this week.
Right.
see, I usually try to rank off of who I think is gonna win.
This
That's how
week.
I feel,
We're
man.
here
I'm
and
with
now.
Taylor.
Why do this week to week?
Yeah.
Why do this week
It's
to week
this
if that's the case?
Tell
All right,
him,
then she a
Taylor.
D.
You don't listen to
Then they're
us.
a D. You know what? I agree, Josh Vitello. No.
Okay, Isaiah's
Um,
not stand in the
okay.
chat. All right.
Yeah, Isaiah's got a bestie.
No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep him at D. I'll keep it at D.
Here's why to me like Cam's just slightly better than Rubina. I feel like Rubina gave
Slightly
up the
crazy.
moment Tucker like gave up is a strong word. She came into the house. She said, "I don't want to be in a showmance. It ties you down." Blah blah blah. So she was self-aware to know this prior to getting into showmance. And then you know what? The heart wants what it wants. Okay, who about to criticize? To each their own. But what she knew was going to be the wrong move for her game. Then she's making out with Tucker in front of the entire house, not once, but twice, solidifying the fact that they're a duo, and then attaching herself to the hip to Core and Chemo as a trio. Like, she's been doing moves that visually, like when you look at it from just like the house dynamics, it was just bad for her from the start. And I feel like there's no fight. I feel like her and Chemo are in the same position where there was almost no. I want to root for people who want to win, despite their logic. At least fundamentally, they want to win. They want to fight. They want to sit at that final two chair and plea. And I don't see that fight in Rubina. I haven't seen it in weeks. So at least, Cam was in the right alliance, and that's like kind of the bare minimum. I'm not going to even hold you, because being in the right alliance is not enough, in my opinion. That's why I've been criticizing Cam's game from jump since Pentagon. So, I just feel like she was doing what was best for her heart. But this is Big Brother. It's not The Circle. It's not Love Island. It's Big Brother. So if you're not going to play the game of Big Brother, you reap what you sow. If she goes this week or next week, it doesn't matter, because she's not going to win.
Josie, to your point, I don't even think before her and Tucker solidified their showmance, she was even playing the game. Like she was just there to hang. She was having a good time. Like I don't even think there was gameplay prior to that. So she was there for a summer vacation. To your point, maybe she would have been better on the circle where it's just purely social and you're making friends. Like she did a good job making friends. She has a good personality. I would love to have rooted for her this season, but she hasn't given me anything to root for because she hasn't really tried much to play. I think at least Chemo, if we're comparing them, because I feel like they were so similar throughout the whole season. He got information, he made relationships with other people, he used information sometimes, they flipped a vote. Like, there were things that he did to differentiate himself. She's just been Chemo's ally, Tucker's ally.
Right.
That's it. She's not seen
I
as an
agree.
individual. So I just don't even know, Taylor, to your point, like what she would even say at the end, other than like, it's been great, we're friends, do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's play devil's advocate, right?
Oh, here
Let's-
he
Mm.
goes.
Oh,
No,
love
it's
this
a
one.
good question. It's a good question.
We
It's a good
love
question.
this one.
It's a good question.
Man,
Let's
I never felt that
assume
way.
let's assume Mackenzie's gonna make the right move and take out Cam. If Chelsea is in the position to choose the final two and she cuts Rubina over Mackenzie, is that a bad move?
No,
No.
because she gets
Why?
to sit beside MJ and say, she might have won 2 HOHs, but I ran that. I
Yeah,
had
right.
6
She's only
HOHs in a
wanted
row.
to be
So
here.
but here's my thing. We all agree Mackenzie's the better player, right?
No.
Why not just take
Between
Rubina?
who?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Between
Between who?
Mackenzie and Rubina.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
So between
I'm about
Mackenzie
to
and
log out.
Rubina,
Wait.
Yeah, I was like,
relax. No, so I'm talking about Mackenzie Rubina. So if Mackenzie, in our opinion, is better than Rubina, why is it a smarter move to not just take Rubina to the end and have an easy one?
because I think Chelsea's resume is so. I just think sitting next to Mackenzie and then being able to say, yeah, she's here, but here's all the things that I did behind the scenes to
It's
get
not more
her here, and
impressive
it's all
though to
me.
sit next to Rubina,
I think also if Chelsea just evicts
because we all said
MJ,
Mackenzie
she's
might have a
gonna
chance to
lose.
win.
She could lose MJ's vote. I'm not saying that that's enough for her to lose entirely, but if Rubina goes, it's like it fits the narrative. People can't say Chelsea wasn't loyal because she was loyal to MJ and Cam.
Yeah.
So no one can use that argument against her. They were just not loyal to the rest of them, which is why they're where they are. She could easily say, I brought MJ here. I carried her here.
Yep.
She had no one. She was on an island. I'm the one out of all of the house guests that came in and pulled her in and took care of her. I nurtured her. I was able to do this so that she could be here right now because you guys all wanted her out at some point. She was so disposable to you guys. The reason why she's sitting here, I'm not saying Chelsea will say that, but the reason why she's sitting here is because of me. I made that decision. I made the calls. I controlled the game. And if MJ's sitting there, yeah, she can say the same thing, but I think it's more impactful visually to see MJ right beside her. Like, I think it just speaks to the fact that she literally carried her, especially if she wins part 1 or part 2 and then part 3 and then brings MJ. Like, I just feel like that story-wise, storytelling-wise, it's more impressive. And also, like, I don't know if, like, I know Takor celebrates Chelsea's game, but, I don't know if Takor and Chemo might just flip their vote because it's Rubina and it's part of their trio. I just feel like there's less risk with Rubina despite MJ being the better player.
I agree. I think the votes, there's no way Chelsea, there's no way T-Core or Chemo are voting for Mackenzie at the end.
T-Core
There's a
vote Chelsea
maybe
over Rubina.
Yeah, I think so too. But there's always that chance. Like maybe Chelsea doesn't know that. I don't know if Chelsea realizes how much T-Core has been riding for her. So I think maybe there's always just that thought of like they were a trio. They could. That's 2 votes potentially for her. You only need 4. Like why risk it? Especially if like Angela's going to potentially be bitter. Who knows who else would be better? So I don't think
I just look at like. I just don't see a resume for Rubina. We sit here every week and we're like, what has Rubina done? And no one can really say anything. We can at least point out like Mackenzie's comp wins, taking out Takor and Chemo. Well, sorry, not Chemo. Chemo and like other people, obviously. And obviously, I still think Chelsea wins regardless. But I think one of the most powerful ones, in my opinion, who's in my top 5 is Andy Heron. Because the way he just like played everybody and then took Gina Marie to the end, who couldn't even speak a sentence, was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, and I'm not saying Rubina can't speak a sentence, but what is Rubina really going to say? She's going to be like, "Have a happy summer." Like I don't know what
Yeah.
she's going to say. Where Mackenzie's going to be like, at least have something to say. You know what I'm saying? I think you know how powerful it is to take every threat out of here and then sit next to Rubina. I just don't see like it's over at that point. You know what I'm saying? So like I guess as fans, it's more powerful and entertaining.
She took out the biggest threats though to Chelsea's game, not to her own game. That's the
Correct.
thing.
Right. But look, don't even give her the opportunity to even combat that. Just send her to jury. You say that while she's on the jury, be like, she did all this for me, and then I took her out, and then I'm sitting next to Rubina. I just think that'd be crazy.
Risky,
that is.
Isaiah.
I don't see the risk.
Is not worth it. The risk
We're
is not
saying
worth it.
that she wins regardless.
Right.
No, but
I
here's
just-
the thing. I'm thinking worst case scenario, if MJ gets evicted at final 3, MJ has every right to be bitter. You cannot, I'm sorry, if you cut me at final 3, you better be ready for the smoke. Like, take ownership of the move. Like, let's just be for real. So I wouldn't be mad if MJ votes bitter because I too would be pissed. And then you have, so that's one person that's not voting for you. And then you have Takor and Chemo who can potentially vote for Rubina just because. So that's 3 votes on the table, and you need what, 4 to win? I don't like that risk. There's no risk with MJ. There is none. Like, it's actually 0.
What do you say, Janelle?
I asked Taylor what she thought. Should she cut
I mean,
MJ
if we're
or
honest here, it's fun, and I get it. That's why we do the podcast. That's why we flesh out everything, and it's fun to kind of imagine. If we're like, come on, we're living in a fantasy world. Let's live in reality for a second here. It's just a matter of the narrative that you want to have. But like Chelsea against Mackenzie or Rubina, does she want to sit next to the comp beast that she controlled and used as her weapon the entire time, or does she want to sit next to a person that didn't have much of their own individual game, but like she wins either way? Like she legitimately wins either way, and she's aware of that. So if we're talking about these small risks here and there, they're not enough to stack up against her to actually take the game from under her. I just don't see that happening. I understand all the points that are being made here, but they're still not significant enough for her to actually be in jeopardy. They're just not.
Does Mackenzie do pageants?
Probably.
I don't think so.
Right?
I don't know, but she's beautiful.
Never
Brooklyn
sleep on the
did,
pageant
right?
people. That's what I'm saying. Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. You
Yes,
guys,
Brooklyn is our pageant girl. Brooklyn is our pageant girl.
Brooklyn was
there you
a
go.
pageant girl, but I mean, let's be very honest here. I'm sorry, but there are a lot of people compete in pageants, but not a lot of people win pageants. So you could have competed in a pageant, but that doesn't make you a good orator. That does not make you a good competitor. I'm just saying, if Mackenzie was ever in a pageant, she's not a strong competitor because she comes from pageants. She's a strong competitor. Right. She's a strong competitor. She's in that.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid. But there you go. Listen,
Yes, Mackenzie does
that's
work
our
in
little ranking.
construction. Thank you, Moses. He does work.
That's our little ranking now. Only a little bit of movement, but for the most part, it's the same. And then the next time we do this, is the game over next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The finale's on Sunday, but
13th?
not. Is it this Sunday or next Sunday? No.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Sunday,
That's crazy. Yeah, so we got one more. That's crazy. Somehow we figured out how to talk about 4 people for an hour, you know, but there you go.
What did you guys think about the jury segment? We've been waiting so long for a jury segment. We finally got one.
I didn't watch the episode. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh God.
I caught the jury segment. It was, I mean, no, it's fun to see. It's like we know when we're sitting in the house, they'll count us in for every block of the episode. So, you know, when you see the house guests doing like play dead or whatever, they'll tell us right before we come in, like, okay, like you're gonna be on in 3, 2, so we do something. So usually we'll have something planned like that, and then the producer will come on and be like, oh, like it's a jury segment, don't do what you're about to do. We're like, oh, okay, we wonder what they're saying in the jury house. That jury segment that we saw last night was just so clear and accurately cut for who the front runner is. And like I don't see anybody else who gets cut tonight or the next episode. The jury's full with who's going to be in that jury house, because the next person evicted is going to a hotel room for one night, and then they're going to the round table. So there won't be any conversation in a jury house that can really get them to sway a vote significantly. So I don't know. I don't see much changing unless we get to finale night and something crazy happens and Chelsea gets cut on finale night. But it seems like it's a pretty locked up game.
I would
Yep.
die.
And it doesn't seem like they are a stupid jury either. So things
No.
look
No.
like they are accurately reflecting what is happening.
Correct.
All right. Bet.
Alrighty.
I do
We got
think
any other final things?
one more thing. T-Core is still
Go
thinking
for it.
that Chelsea had her back in that vote.
Yes.
That'll be interesting. And that's what makes me curious about, like, let's say there's a Chelsea Rubina final two. That doesn't make me think that T-Core would vote for Rubina. Like, I still think that her loyalty, her allegiance, and her hope would be in Chelsea more than anything. But I am interested to see when she'll learn where that vote actually was.
I wonder if that'll come up at the roundtable, if that'll be a question that she has for Chemo, or I guess Chemo's in the jury house, right? Yeah. So I wonder if that's going to be a conversation. I'm sure Quinn will ask, I assume, because he asked her in the jury segment. But the mist is real on T-Core when it comes
she's
to
a
Chelsea.
little
It's
petty
interesting.
though. She can hold on to a grudge.
Yeah, she'd be bitter.
She's a little bitter. Yeah, she's a little bitter.
She can be, but is it enough to usurp a larger mission?
It better
My only
not
thing
be.
is,
It
this
better
season
not
has shown
be.
me she will make decisions the last second. So I'm just like,
Right.
I don't know what she's capable of. I think Chelsea's got this, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I
Yep.
think it's over.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Well, all right. Any last thing before we start then? All right, cool.
I don't think so.
All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching our podcast. As usual, if you enjoyed what you like usual, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow our social media pages. And if you're listening, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, 5 stars. 5 stars only. If it's something you don't like, don't rank it at all. Wait till you hear something you do like. Taylor, thank you so much for coming
Love
on again. Where can people find you?
Oh, find me on, well, not Twitter, I just deleted Twitter, but you can find me on Instagram and on TikTok. We're coming up on finale week. It's like the best week to be in the Big Brother alumni universe. I'm sure a lot of people will be coming out to LA. Oz's event's happening. So if I'm not stuck on the lot doing exit interviews over at Radford Studio, then I should be able to actually make it to Oz's party this year, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, I'm just really excited for whoever ends up winning. And I'm excited to celebrate this new class and let those little birdies fly off into the world. That's like the best part about being an alum. Like you first welcome everybody in and you say, go forth, everyone do your thing.
How long until you bless us on the traders? What's going on with that?
I just got out of my contract, so
All right, there you go.
Next season, next season, y'all. Don't worry.
Next season, that's Danielle and Brittany on the next season.
The one after.
Yeah.
The one that the next one they cast. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Pray to God's ears.
We would love to see it.
All right, Katie, what's going on?
Not much. I'll be here for the rest of the season, the last 2 weeks, and you can otherwise find me on Twitter at RealSlimKatie.
All right. How about you, Josie?
You guys can follow me on all social media that matters at JosianeXNM, JosianeXNM. So really just Twitter and Instagram, to be quite frank. Aside from that, there's no BB Can't. So what am I doing?
I'm so upset.
I don't know.
Your games?
Lizzie?
Yeah, I'm hoping there'll be something.
Actually, I'm gonna use this time to plug the BB Can change.org. If you haven't signed it, please sign it. I do think that signing a petition, while it might seem like a small action, it does play a big role. We saw it after season 5 with season 6. And so I'm going to keep pushing for it. There are great people pushing behind that petition as well. So I've retweeted it a few times. I might tweet it after this episode in case some of you have changed your mind and want to sign the petition. But besides that, maybe I'll be covering Love is Wine. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll be on Traders Canada. I'm open. Just follow me on social media and I'll keep y'all updated.
She's covering it because I refuse to. So I'm not doing it anymore. And then, Janelle, where can people find you?
I am just Janelle Michelle on everything. And I'll be here with you.
It's
guys
not
until the
just.
next
She is the Janelle Michelle.
Correct.
Right.
Come on.
That's
There
right.
you go. And then you can find me at 8 Ball Bangers like usual. Uploading my Survivor Philly exit interviews. Did my first one with Ryan Cassidy today, very fun, and we're closing out this season. Got some cool stuff planned for the off season. because we don't have any BB Cam. I hate Ethan.
Ethan is so funny. Hi, Ethan.
I'm trying. Shout out to my
Shout out to
dog.
Ethan.
You were just eyes iconic.
Right.
Yes, he was so fun.
Truly.
But
You're the best.
all right, y'all.
What an amazing opening act. We're so grateful for that.
There
Crack.
you go.
Mhm.
All right, but y'all, we'll see you guys next week for our last few podcasts for the season. But until next time, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.